Hey, Shalom, yeah, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praise to Yahweh Hashem, Yahushua, Hashem, Kadash. Double honors to positive Jimmers and honors to you brothers doing the work in truth, more sincerity. I was just meditating on something real quick. That is, the topic of investment, right? I was reading of Arkham earlier on, and basically talking about how you have people in this world literally who just sit at home, and they'll, flip one or two investments and then they make millions, right? And they'll just be doing this on a daily basis, just making millions casually. However, that is what we're doing more on the spiritual, on the spiritual side, right? Because yeah, and I just got a whole bunch of scriptures. No particular order, just things that came to my mind as I was preparing the lesson, or rather, just thinking on the topic, right? Because in fact, let me get that here. Because right now, one of the things that we're investing is our time. When you invest as well, sometimes you got to make sacrifices. So you got to what do you call it, hedge against something that you're not particularly sure of. However, right, we are sure of this, and we're sure of this through faith. People come to us, oh shit, how do you know this, that, and the other, right? We're basically betting against this economy. We have faith that we've been given the gift of faith that this kingdom's gonna go down, right? So people are like, oh, what do you mean you're remortgaging your house to invest in that business or in that stock? And well, oh, you're crazy, this, that, and the other. You might lose people in the process, and that's the same thing that we're doing, right? We've invested in our all into this truth, or what do you call it? We've invested our souls into this truth, man. We've come out of this world, in the hope of a better one and the faith of a better one, right? So let me start getting into some scriptures now, right? Just because it was more was gonna say, you invest. Right, we've invested things already, right? This is Matthew 19:27. It says, Then answered Peter and said unto him, Behold, we have forsaken all and follow thee. What shall we have therefore? Right. So basically, Peter said, "Look, man, we've given up all of that. Right. I've dumped all of these other stocks, these worldly stocks, and I've put my all into this stock of the truth and the faith. What's my projected return on investment? Right. It says and then Yahushua said unto them, Verily I say unto you, that ye which are following me in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, ye also shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. So that's good enough. Just on its own, that's good enough, right? Because then you bring Romans 8:17 along, right? It says, and if Romans 8:17 says, and if children, then heirs of the Most High, and joint heirs with Yahushua, if so be that we suffer with him, that we may also be glorified together. Right. So the one of the rewards is being joint heirs with Yahushua, right? And it says, if so be that we suffer with them. And that's some of the things that you're gonna have to invest. You're gonna have to invest your well-being, man. Right now, that's just but brothers can attest to this. Before they were in the truth, their health was, impeccable. Their health was impeccable. All of a sudden, they come into the truth. Now they got backaches, shoulder aches. They might try what you call it, go gym, lose a bit of weight, and then their shins be hurting or pulling muscles or just ill, sickly. Right, brothers can attest to these stories. Right, that's one of the things that we suffer. But the loss of loved ones, loved ones that have quote left you because of this truth, right? It goes on to say, it says back in Matthew 19:28, it says, and Yahushua said unto them, Verily I say unto you, that ye which shall follow me in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, ye also shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. And every one of you that have forsaken houses, or brethren, or sisters, or father, or mother, or wife, or children, or lands, for my name's sake, right, shall receive an hundredfold, and shall inherit everlasting life. Right? So basically saying, look, man, you may have lost all of this, but you'll return manyfold in the kingdom. Right? And that's what these investment bankers be doing, but on a carnal level, they be doing it, to invest some Federal Reserve notes or some Bank of England notes, right? And those returns, they're gonna be destroyed. They're gonna come to naught. They're gonna be burnt up in this third world war when Esau goes down. Right, so their investment isn't a sure investment, whereas this truth is, right. Your woman might be like, "Oh, you're always in the Bible, this, that, and the other. See the Bible or me." And if if the Lord puts a spirit on that, bro, be like, "All right, man, here's your bags. Keep it moving, man. Get out my house." Right? This is Matthew 6:19 says, "Lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust doth corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal." Right, so like I said, that's like these Federal Reserve notes, man. These cars, these houses, these jewels, right? Because your car, what's your car without petrol? This is an expensive can of metal, right? Your house can be broken into, this, that, and the other. Your jewels can be snatched off your neck, right? You could be having your arm, showing off your watch outside, or driving your drop top. Then some wild Jake comes, chops your arm off for your, what would you call it, for your watch, man, right? But that's what I said. That's what these guys be hedging for. But where do we hedge? We hedge, it says, but lay, verse 20 says, but lay for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through or steal. And that's what we do when we're doing these videos, when we're studying, when we're just reasoning with brothers, helping brothers, being brotherly, doing things pertaining to this truth, right? Brothers don't realize, man. Right now, we're just doing our day to day, and that which that spiritual bank account, is adding notes. Just like how these guys will be just chilling in the house, right? They might have invested in the stock years ago, and that stock is just making them money. Right now, they're living fat off of it, right? And what did Yahushua say? Look, man, y'all who have invested, man, you shall reward. Your return will be 100-fold. Right, if you tell anyone in the world, look, man, and that's a metaphorical and 100-fold at that, right? If you tell anyone in the world, look, man, invest in this stock, right, and then you get 20 times your investment, so say 20-fold, right? They'll be like, what, swear? Oh shit, hey, so what? So you telling me, right? If I invest, what, would you call it, £100, I can get back 2 grand? Like, bro, that ain't, so I'm like, man, that's something, right? But then the problem with the investing like that is that too, the value of that 2 grand will go up and it will go down, right? Whereas this spiritual investment, man, that's, scripture talk about pleasures evermore, right? Yeah, I came across this one again the other day, and you find the scripture keep bringing it out. Right, it says Sirach 39:1 says, "But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High and is occupied in the meditation thereof, will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient and be occupied in prophecies." Right, so this is one of the things that you're gonna have to be doing to invest. Right, you're investing your time. You're what you call it? That's you're occupied in the scriptures and the prophecies. You're as it says in Mark 13:33. Right, it says, "Take heed, watch and pray." Right, so you're watching the news. You're keeping up to tabs on what's happening in current affairs, current events. Right, people tell you, "Oh, did you know about this event?" You're like, "Yeah, of course, yeah, and you break it down to them. Sometimes you be saying, "Oh yeah, this such and such has happened." People are like, "What? Since when did that happen?" Right? We're supposed to be the hey, you get over here. You've got Sky News, bullshit news service, right? But their whole thing is the first for breaking news, right? That's supposed to be where we're at. So if there's breaking news, we knew about it. Breaking pertinent news rather, right? Because like I did another video, man. I had breaking news that Kylie Jenner had a baby. It's like, what the fuck is that? That's bullshit. That's folly, right? But that's one of the things you're gonna have to do. You're gonna be investing your time, right? You're going to be keeping up to tabs. When you're keeping up to tabs, guess what you're going to be doing? You're going to be investing even more time to do videos on these things, right? Like I said before, also you'll be investing your well-being as well. As 2 Corinthians 4:17 says, "For our light affliction," right? One of the ways you get afflicted: your health, money, your job, just family, friends coming against you, your woman coming against you. But the scripture says it's a light affliction. It's a small investment to pay, right? Considering the returns. People, like I said, people are like, fuck, shit, you just remortgage your house? And then they're looking at you like, man, this guy's crazy, man. This guy's crazy. And the guy, he might be, living a bit rough for a while, but then that investment hits and he's just there like, yo, I told you guys, man. And then that, half a grand investment, 500,000, because I mean, a house in London is expensive, but that 500,000 and £500,000 investment, flips over to several million. People are like several million, hundreds of millions. People are going to be like, you know what, that was a good investment, right? So us investing our, like I said, our health, all the people that are going to come against us that we may have quote unquote called friends, right? That we're going to lose along this journey, right? That's a worthwhile investment, right? You might lose, an example that Jake can always get down with, right? In case of women, right? You might lose a couple women on this side, you know. But then in the kingdom, you're just gonna have women to the point where a woman's just a woman, right? You ain't falling head over heels. You're just doing what you're doing, man. It's just like, oh shit, another one. Oh shit, that one's pregnant as well. Shit, how many is that today? That's how you're gonna be like in the kingdom, man. Right? This is Proverbs 8 and 11. Right? It says, for wisdom is better than rubies. Right? Rubies. Basically saying that wisdom, that's a very valuable thing. That's a very valuable stock to invest your your time and efforts in. For the only people that can really afford rubies like that in this kingdom, and they're the ones that have done some heavy investment, or they got that old daddy money, man. That inheritance, right? But wisdom, that's the real riches. Right, scriptures talk about what do you call it? Revelations 2:9 it says, "I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich." And that's how we're rich. We're rich with wisdom, right? And then these riches are only going to multiply up until the kingdom and up until the glory. And well, this is not up until this point, but it's will continue after, right? Basically, hey, literally the joys of the kingdom, the joys of the things that are to come, really don't, as the scriptures say in 2 Corinthians 4. It's like, as you can tell, I lost my train of thought. It's like I was trying to keep it together, but I completely lost it. But basically, when we're in the kingdom, man, we're gonna realize it's a light affliction that we went through, right? Right, it says 2 Ezra 2:45 says, he answered and said unto me, these be they that have put off the mortal clothing and put on the immortal, and have confessed the name of the Most High. Right now are they crowned and received palms. So one of the things that's gonna in fact, we'll start from the wrong place. Verse 43 says, and in the midst of them there was a young man of high stature, right, it's representing Yahushua, taller than all the rest, and upon every one of their heads he set crowns, and was more exalted, which I marveled greatly at. So basically, Yahushua, he's the one who's going to be setting a crown on your head. Now, if there ain't no greater gift, no greater, reward than that, that's a stock I can invest in. Right, and then you're telling me, scriptures say this isn't just the end of it, that there's gonna be more to come after that. Right? So like I said, Lord, something I was just meditating on real quick. And Lord's will you were edified, and yeah, you're investing in the correct stock, man. You're investing in the right stock. So now I'm gonna say Shalom.